I'm Rob Dansman, and this is The Better Semester, where I provide insight and actionable advice to parents of college students. I'm a nationally certified counselor and licensed clinical mental health counselor. Hey everyone, welcome back. We are heading into summer, which means the Great Migration has begun. Thousands of high-achieving college students are moving back into their childhood bedrooms. And if your kiddo is coming home in crisis, stressed about that hostile job market, burned out from school, and just struggling with their mental health, your instinct as a successful, problem-solving parent and well-intentioned parent is to naturally absorb that anxiety and try to fix it. But let's be clear here. Trying to be your child's therapist over this long summer is a terrible allocation of your emotional capital. It's going to destroy, or at least a minimum, undermine that relationship. Let's dive into this a little bit more. Okay, let's look at the economics of modern parenting. You're spending $80,000 to $90,000 a year on tuition, room, board, Jimmy John's, Uber Eats, at an elite university or college. You are the primary investor in their future. But where high-achieving parents get it terribly wrong is assuming that being the primary investor means you also have to be the middle manager of their serotonin levels. We are blurring the lines here between parent and clinician, and the ROI on that behavior is catastrophic. When you sit at the kitchen island in mid-July interrogating your 20-year-old about whether they emailed the family connection at BCG or Morgan Stanley and asking if they remembered to take their Lexapro, you aren't supporting them. You're suffocating them. Or, well, maybe more accurately, you're insulating them. You cannot medically manage your child's job market anxiety or depression like a project manager. When you try, the result is massive, toxic buildup of resentment on both sides. Your young adult feels infantilized and micromanaged, and you end up exhausted, burning out while doing a clinical job you are fundamentally unqualified for. Let's go even deeper into this. So what is the blueprint here? How do you break this cycle? You need to fire yourself as their therapist and promote yourself to chairman of the board. And this isn't just my opinion. The data absolutely backs this up. A 2024 study published in Emerging Adulthood found that when parents use helicopter tactics to overmanage their student's life, it actively undermines the student's emotion regulation and autonomy. Psychologists refer to this life stage as separation-individuation. It is a critical developmental window where your child must create emotional distance from you to become a functioning adult. They must experience the feedback loop created by putting real effort into something and experiencing the wins, and most importantly, the losses. By over-functioning for them, you are sabotaging their development. You also need to understand the landscape of what you're actually managing. When your kid comes home in May, they aren't just stressed about securing a competitive internship. Recent behavioral research points to a triad of hidden summer stressors. Number one, the loss of independence. They went from having total free reign to sleeping under your roof and your rules. That sudden loss of autonomy can feel deeply suffocating. Imagine going from your sauna and jumping into a cold pool. All right, number two, the identity clash. College is an incubator for self-discovery and reinvention. The person who left your house in August is not the exact same person who returned in May. When families expect a young adult to seamlessly revert to their high school self, it creates a massive internal tension and alienation. All right, third, social disconnection. They are suddenly isolated from a highly concentrated 24/7 peer network and a fishbowl. That shift leads to a profound loneliness and disrupts their daily routines and healthy habits. Knowing these stressors, how do you actually manage them? Don't aim to fix anything. Focus on predictability and consistency. You establish strict, high-level operational boundaries. All right, so how do we do this? Step one, draft the operating agreement. In the first week they are home, you need to explicitly negotiate boundaries. Nothing dorky like a signed contract, but something mapped out and quasi-formal. My rule of thumb is to give them 24 hours to be home, chill, and then discuss boundaries and expectations. This isn't about imposing a 10 p.m. curfew like they're 16. It's about mutual respect. You sit down and say, you are an adult now, and we respect your independence. Let's agree on some basic household boundaries, like communication around schedules, privacy, summer job, and chores, so we aren't stepping on each other's toes this summer. All right, step 2, validate the macro, ignore the micro. The chairman of the board doesn't get into the weeds of daily operations. When your student comes to you spiraling about their future, your job is to validate the emotion without taking ownership of the psychological treatment. It looks like this. You look at them and say, I see how overwhelming this transition is right now. The job market is a brutal environment. I love you and I'm here for you. What is your plan to handle this? Notice what you didn't do. You didn't offer to rewrite their resume. You didn't log into their portal. You didn't call a psychiatrist for them. You validated their reality. And then you handed the agency squarely back to the young adult. If they say they don't know what to do, you can offer to help them find a professional, but you do not become the professional. All right, step 3, weekly check-ins. Just like if you're running a company, you pull people in to check on their status with the boundaries and expectations you set up. It's time for realignment and making sure things are running smoothly. What's the status of job searching, internship applications, summer plans? You will hear all of the excuses. Just like above, validate, don't argue, don't try to solve. We all have blamed other people, places, and things for why we didn't get something accomplished. Give them space to bullshit a little. And then say something to the effect of, I know looking for a job is not fun and requires you to put yourself out there. What is your specific plan to overcome those internal issues you've got, since we know you can't change the external ones? Okay, let's wrap up here. Here's the bottom line. You are not their therapist, and that's exactly why you need your own consultant to help keep you focused on not overparenting, snowplowing, helicoptering, or whatever term of the week is. If you feel battered down by your students' avoidance strategies, I encourage you to work with someone who specializes in high-achieving families who need to break the cycle. Stop playing clinician. Outsource that treatment to actual professionals and start enjoying your relationship with your child again. That's it for today. If you found this episode helpful, please like it, subscribe, and give it a thumbs up. You can also pass it along to a friend. Both help me share my actionable insights about college student behavioral health. For even more information, check out my 2 books on Amazon. Read my Psychology Today Campus Crunch column, or go to my website, robdansman.com. Before you head off, I just wanted to say thanks for tuning in today. All of the resources discussed are in the show notes below. And one last thing, if you know anyone that would benefit from this episode, please forward it along to them. If you liked what you heard, please subscribe to my podcast, the YouTube channel, and the newsletter. All right, see you all next time.